I already smell the shitstorm.
Hey Rabbits, it's Trixie, and in today's video I want to tell you what you shouldn't call women in German. And by that I don't mean obvious insults such as the B word or the C word, which would be the sh word and the F word in German. Or milder insults such as Tusse, Zicke or Schrapnell. I'm talking about nicknames that have a subtle, derogatory connotation to them. One that many foreign speakers might be oblivious of. You know, they just hear a German randomly using one of those names and think it's normal. Or even that it's flattering. When in fact it's quite disrespectful and inappropriate. I'm not making this video to complain about these names. Not even to judge people, in this case mostly men that use them. It's not a crime. I understand that after a beer or two, or when they're alone with their friends, most of them just try to make fun, and it's nothing but teasing or, you know, macho talk. So surely not everybody calling a woman a name like that is automatically an asshole. But at least in my opinion it isn't all nice and gentle either. So at least I want to make non-German speakers aware which names fall into this light, subtle insults category, to avoid that they may use them pretty much by accident. I mean, it's difficult enough to talk to women, maybe the girl next door that you like. So I guess this little guide what to avoid might be helpful.
So, am I getting this right? You're trying to make people stop insulting women by teaching them insults for women?
Yeah, I know that sounds a bit weird, but that's pretty much what I was thinking.
Oh, okay, you tried this thinking thing again. Well, alright then, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the shitstorm.
Okay, so one of the most common nicknames that women, mostly wives or girlfriends, are referred to is die Alte. Or also die Olle, both meaning the old one. Na Horst, wie geht's mit der Ollen? How is it with the old one? It doesn't really matter whether die Alte is actually old. 20, 30, 40 and up, die Alte it is. Now, as I said, it isn't an extremely rude insult, but obviously not that flattering either. I guess it paints this picture of a moody, worn old crone, and it feels good for some people to mock at their female partners like that. The next name you shouldn't use is Weib. You may have already heard a German say, "Pff, Weiber." And since it sounds so similar to wife, wives, it may not occur to foreigners as a problematic term. Weib is a very old word, dating back to medieval ages. So when you look it up in a dictionary, you'll only find that it means female or woman. But here's the thing. Because it's so old, using it nowadays kinda implies that the role of women hasn't changed since medieval times. Now, definitely not everyone using this has exactly this in mind, but that's why, at least to me, it has this negative vibe to it. Worse than that, however, is Weibstück or Weibsstück, literally translating to female piece. A piece of female. It sounds like women are items, you know? And if you refer to your partner like that, it's like you own her and she's nothing but a thing. Ugh, my female piece broke again. I have to head to the tool shop and get a new one. A nickname that I dislike even more, however, is Schnitte. Schnitte means the slice. So if somebody calls me like that, I feel like a slice of meat, which I am not. It's most likely related to schnittig, which means sleek or stylish in German, but that doesn't change the fact that it makes me think of meat. And that's a bit uncomfortable. Then there is die Ische. Ische has a Yiddish origin, again meaning woman or female individual. So in general there is nothing wrong with that. But as a woman myself, I just associate this patronizing note with it. It's usually used in a mocking sense, not in a positive context. Unless it's something sexual. But I'm gonna say a few more things to that later. Another rather derogatory term for women is die Schnalle, which means buckle. You know, like belt buckle. You think belt buckle is an unpleasant name? Well then wait where this word really comes from, because it's not actually related to fashion items. Instead, it derives from the fact that hunters call the genitals of certain female animals die Schnalle as well. So by saying hey Schnalle, you basically call a woman, hey female animal genitals. Needless to say why this should be avoided. Talking about names for women that are related to animals, Zippe is another example. It's a term for certain female animals like sheep or birds, mostly the kind that makes a shrill sound. So again, women are kinda broad to an animal level, and therefore it's sort of a discrimination. However, hold your horses. I want you to be aware that neither the original meaning of Zippe nor of Schnalle are known to most people using these names. I cannot imagine that they actually intend to say genitals to a woman. These names are just something they hear in a mocking, fun manner and then repeat. I'm unraveling the roots of these terms to provide you with more information about them, but I myself didn't know their origins before either. But back to topic. Apart from that, women are called obvious animal names all the time. Hase, Maus, Schnecke, Täubchen. It's usually small and cute animals. And although I respect that some women say that they don't want to be seen as an animal or cutified, I'm personally completely okay with that, at least in a relationship. I'd go as far as to say I like it. I'm also fine with it when somebody says, Trixie, oh ja, das ist eine ganz süße Maus. Remember, my opinion. However,
na du geiles Häschen, darf ich in dein Höschen?
Not cool. Next are some words that describe daily life things but can also be used as nicknames for women. And the catch is that they actually sound like something positive. So I can imagine that it's horrendously difficult for foreigners to determine whether they're flattering or pretty much the opposite. It's almost ironic that they mean something bad. For example, there is die Mieze, die Perle, die Puppe, or die Braut. Now, doesn't that sound like a compliment to be referred to as a cute cat, a precious pearl, a doll, or a bride? How are foreigners supposed to know that they are walking on very thin ice here? What I mean is, Schatz, the treasure, is totally okay, but Perle, the pearl, is not. Yes, these names can be used in a positive way. For instance, by people with a rather sloppy and rakish kind of humor. You know, in the end, it's a matter of attitude and interpretation. Also, depending on the region inside of Germany, the meaning and perception of all the names that I mentioned might differ. But considering all of this, I'd say that these words are at least dangerous. They're part of a gray zone you might want to stay out of as a non-native speaker, because it's easy to cross a line. Of course, I can only speak for myself, and due to that, I'm trying to be very careful with my statements here. But I believe that many women would agree that they do not like to be called a name like that. Another category of names are the ones that solely target a woman's looks. For example, there is steiler Zahn, steep tooth, heißer Feger, hot brush, and flotter Besen, brisk broom. These all mean, ooh, she's a hottie. And while I don't have anything against somebody expressing that they find somebody attractive, be it in a romantical or a sexual way or both, these names are just odd and they make me feel uncomfortable. Teeth? Brushes? Brooms? Really? I think you understand why I'm a bit confused. So to sum this up, all of the names I mentioned are definitely not the worst kind of names you can call a woman, but they do have this negative connotation, and I wouldn't like to be called like that, neither in my presence nor behind my back. However, whether you find them okay, and this goes out to both men and women, is your personal decision. What all of these names have in common is that they are mostly used in a mocking fashion, and or in a way where a woman's sex appeal becomes the only focus. In the latter case, the mocking part kind of feeds into this objectification. It derogates the personal human worth and emphasizes the sex component. Okay. These have been all the problematic names that I wanted to talk about today. And once again, I find myself scared of uploading this video. This is the internet, this is YouTube, so probably there will be men calling me a feminazi and women blaming me for making these names appear more harmless than they consider them. The thing with these delicate topics is you always trigger people, intended or not. But I don't want this to get in the way of me making the videos that I want to make. So if this causes a shitstorm, that's how it's gonna be. But I just hope that the majority of you understands that my only intention by making this video was to help non-Germans interpret these names correctly. You know, from the perspective of a German woman. By the way, because I'm a woman, I decided to talk about this topic from a woman's point of view. But obviously that doesn't mean that there aren't names of the same kind for men as well. Mein Alter, mein Kerl, or mein Stecher aren't that gentle either. There are definitely more names like that for women, but you know, it's not this typical one-sided gender thing. It's a respect thing. So rabbits, what do you say? Do you use these names sometimes, and in which context is that? Do you consider them a problem or not a big deal? Which other light insults or nicknames for men or women do you know, and how do you perceive them? I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you found it helpful. If so, please leave a thumbs up because that would make me really, really happy. If you want more Don't Trust the Rabbit content, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and here is another video that you should definitely check out. Subscribe to Don't Trust the Rabbit for more videos like this one, and if you want to support my channel even a bit more, you can also find me on Patreon. I would really appreciate your help. Now, no matter what gender you count yourself to, have a wonderful day, don't let anybody mock you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!